All right. Hello, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Oh, I started reading in the wrong spot. Let me back that back up. There we go. I am Amanda Hammerly, your Executive Director of the International Association of Insurance Professionals, and I'd like to welcome all of you to today's town hall. If this is your first town hall, we welcome you and we are glad you are here. If you've attended before, thank you again for joining us. Before we get started, we're just going to go over a few housekeeping items and announcements. You will be on mute throughout the presentation. You can hear us, but we cannot hear you. If you would like to ask a question, please submit your questions using the Q&A section of the control panel of your screen, or if you would like, you may put your questions in the chat box. We do encourage lots of chatter during our town halls. And we are recording this session and it will be available within 2 business days or so on the IAIP YouTube channel. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. I will post a link in the chat box in just a moment to our YouTube channel. But today we would like to discuss all things related to IAIP awards. And alongside me today is John L. Chains-Leak, International Secretary, and Kim Cameron, a past RVP from Region 7. Thank you both for being here today. All right. Who would like to get started?
Welcome. We're so excited to have you join us today to get some information about the awards. The IAIP awards are a very important benefit of your membership in IAIP, and we urge everyone to apply. Some important reminders for the job specific of the year awards. Those are Underwriter of the Year, Client Service of the Year, etc. In order to be eligible for those awards, your current primary job function must be in the area for the specific award that you apply for. Also, remember, you must be an active member in good standing with IAIP. So if you haven't sent in your renewal dues, now's the time to do that. Members with dual memberships are eligible only as a representative of their region of record. If you happen to have membership in 2 regions, you can only apply in your primary region. And if you've had a lapse in membership, the join date and the eligibility period shall be based on the most recent join date. So anything prior to when you lapsed doesn't count. Once you win your region's specific of the year award, you can not apply for that same regional award for 3 calendar years. And also, to be fair, previous international winners are not eligible to compete for the same award at any level of the association. That's just to make it fair to all of the members. Some of those changes were made last year, but in last year's applications, but no new changes occurred. Here's a little chart on the screen, and you put your local, your council, your regional, and your international activities. Just to make it easier, each level of participation still counts, and the way that it is differentiated is they're each rated, allocated different points. So if you're president of your local, you don't get as many points as if you're a regional officer. Hopefully that makes sense. And a big thing that we want to remind you, especially me, because I am on the Marketing and Publications Task Force, is points are allowed for IAIP publications in the activities section. To count, they must be articles written specifically for IAIP. So if you write articles as part of your normal day-to-day job, those don't count. But if you write a blog post, if you write an article for your local council or regional newsletter, you do get rewarded for those activities. And as an aside, for a blog post that is published, you get 5 activity points. Those add up fast. For your past education, base your answer on the past 5 years unless otherwise indicated. Please save the reviewers, the judges, the time. Do not list things that happened over 5 years ago. They don't like it, and it's a waste of time. Also, only include programs and courses that are 30 minutes or more in duration. If you take a 10-minute online seminar, we understand you might have gotten some valuable information, but it doesn't count for points. And you can expand the tables that are in the applications if you are an education superstar and need more room. Another important part about education is that you get double the points when you teach a course. The scoring sheet, as I mentioned in passing before, IAIP participation at different levels are given different point values. That recognizes the amount of work. You know, it's much easier to chair a committee on a local association than it is to chair a regional conference. So local, you tend to get 1 to 2 points. At the council level, you get 2 to 3 points. At the regional level, it's 3 to 4 points. International is 3 to 5. And attendance at events also varies by the level that you're attending. This allows the MALs to have a fair chance at winning an award while still rewarding the people who are members of locals and councils for their participation at those levels. It is important to note that most of the score sheets, it's a 40-point maximum. So if you did 8 blog posts, you'd get your 40-point maximums for those activities. So keep that in mind. Events attended, it includes the actual events, but not the committee meetings. So if you are on a committee to help plan a regional, you don't get points for every committee meeting, but you do get points for attending that regional. Council and regionals, not regional conferences, get 1 point. I know different regions have some additional activities that they offer, and virtual meetings also do count. Regional conference, you get 2 points. The international convention, you get 5 points. Leadership or committee positions, it's important to note, to be fair to everybody, you must participate in 75% of the activities to qualify. Unfortunately, we all know those people who sign up and never show up. That's frustrating for everybody involved, especially if they put that on an awards application. I saw a council awards app that said that this person was a member of every single committee that her local had. And when it was checked into, she was the local association president, and she had never attended any of the committee meetings, but in her position, she considered herself an ex officio member of all the committees, and she wanted to collect points for that. So that's not really fair to the people who are doing the work. Articles in local, council, and regional newsletter, you get a point. And as I mentioned before, a article that's published in today's insurance professional blog is 5 points. And if you've never written a blog post, there are a couple of articles in the archives that kind of walk you through it. And as somebody who's written quite a few blog posts, they're not that difficult to do. So I encourage you to share your knowledge, share your information with the rest of us.
Jonna, we have a question in the chat box from Angie Gentry. She said, what if you are or were in a region that doesn't have a council level? Seems like regions without councils would be unfairly judged.
That's why if you noticed that the points for the council level is less than the points for the region and the international. At one point, there was, for a short time, no points were awarded for any activities at the local or the councils. But that really puts those local people at a disadvantage. So by having the staggered points allowed, that makes it fair, or as fair as possible for those members who are affiliated with locals or councils and those members who are not. It really is pretty easy to get the activity points at the regional and international level. As I said, you could write 8 articles for the blog, and you've got 40 activity points right there.
Thank you.
I think, is this where you take over, Kim?
No.
No, okay. As I mentioned earlier.
It's still you, Joe, now.
Okay.
2 more slides.
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, you get double points when you teach a course. So you get 1 point for each 60 minutes of education completed, and 2 points for each 60 minutes of education taught. That recognizes that it's more difficult to teach a course than it is to take a course. So for example, if there's a 2-hour course that you completed, you get 2 points. If you taught it, you get 4 points. So there are a lot of CLP courses, take those courses and then segue like I did into teaching them.
Do you want to talk a little bit about how to become an instructor?
Well, you need to train the trainer. And beyond that,
Have
is
taken
there
the course yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and taken the course yourself. And really, you need to believe in yourself. When I started instructing the CLP courses, I thought, I can't do this. And the whole reason I did it was to support Region 1, because we had been awarded a grant from the Legacy Foundation, and I didn't think it was fair that the same people taught every time. And I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. And as it is, I don't know how many I've taught, but I've taught regularly, and people keep coming back, so it can't be that bad.
All right. Yes, if you want to be an instructor, if that's something you want to pursue, we'll be happy to help you accomplish that goal.
Absolutely. And you get more out of teaching than you do, in my opinion, than you do out of taking the course. And if you want to know my opinion on that, you can go back to the IAIP blog, because I wrote a blog post about that.
Oh, Ashley Vanderwick just posted a link to the instructor training information right there in the chat box. So definitely follow that link, check it out. If you have questions, let us know. We will equip you to go out there and succeed. Absolutely.
And not only is it good for IAIP to have more instructors, but that's also a great thing to have on your resume. If you're going for a new job or for a promotion, it's a great communication training. The rookie, the young new professional, and the insurance professional of the year applications, obviously it doesn't matter what your job is. Those are not job specific, so they do not have a primary job function. Another item that we've seen confusion over is the insurance professional of the year essay requires only that you pick one of the 3 topics chosen. In the past year, some applicants covered all 3 of the topics, and all of the scoring sheets are very consistent between the awards, and the scoring sheets are on the IAIP website. And you might find that useful when you go to fill it out.
And Ashley just posted in the chat box a link to that site. So you can see award by award, the application and the scoring sheet side by side as you go down the page through each award.
And I recommend that you print both of those.
We have someone asking, I know that there are some instructors teaching the CWC who have not completed the Train the Trainer. I was told it was not necessarily to teach CWC. Do CWC instructors need to take Train the Trainer?
I don't know that answer.
Ashley, do you know the answer to that? Ashley's here. She's posting things into the chat box, but I don't think she's able to speak. I'm sure she'll post an answer to that in just a moment. Oh, it is highly recommended that you take Train the Trainer. So it is highly recommended
That's
if
very
you're going to
good
instruct
question.
CWC. Thank you. Excellent question.
Excellent question.
Okay, you ready for me to move to the next slide? Okay.
It's neat.
I think we covered this. All award forms and scoring sheets are on the IAIP website, and they're amazing. Ashley just posted the link. It's your responsibility to review these and make sure you are eligible. You send in a complete application and you meet the deadlines. I highly recommend that you don't wait until the day that it's due at 11:59 p.m. because if you send it in and you forgot to attach something, you're out of luck. Do things early.
And we have really generous and kind RVPs that will pick up on little things like that and tap you on the shoulder and say, this is missing or this is incorrect, and help you resolve that before the deadline. So absolutely give yourself a buffer.
Right. And 10
Definitely.
p.m. on the due date probably is not going to be much better.
Oh, talk about that time change on the due dates. We made that big change last year.
Yes, we changed it from end of business day, which was undefined, to 11:59 p.m. at the applicant's time zone. So Kim, who is in region 7, I believe, is not disadvantaged from being in a region that has a later time zone. It's in the applicant's time zone. But as we said, don't wait till the last minute to send it to your RVP. I did not wait up until midnight to look at those applications. I figured they'd be in my email box the next morning.
I'm sorry, that was on the next slide. Sorry about
Yes.
that. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I just remember we worked really hard on that last year.
Yeah, it just means that it flows. It's flowing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So as we were talking about the submission, please start early. Start early, get it to your RVP so they can take a look at it and make any recommendations. Note that only electronic submissions are accepted. Makes it easy peasy. You don't have to mail anything. Electronic submissions and the forms on the website are very easy to fill out. They're very user friendly. Complete the applications in their entirety. This is another good reason why you want to submit it to your RVP, because if you are missing something, they can help you find it, or you can reach out and get it completed. Again, even the electronic submissions, some people tend to handwrite them and email them in. No. We want them typed. Sometimes handwritten applications are very difficult to read. So if you are typing, it allows the judges to actually get all the information that they need. You can supplement. We were talking about education earlier, and those are blocks that you fill in the name of the course, the time when you took it, and the band. But sometimes, like on your essay, when it's a 1,000-word essay, it might not fit, and you can actually use additional sheets. But again, those need to be typed. The RVP, I don't know if many know this, but the RVP is the one responsible to make sure that the person submitting the award is eligible. And if they are not, they will reach out and let you know. So again, we keep talking about starting early. Cannot stress this enough. Start early. I know members will look at the application and it goes into mind overload, and you put it off and you'll say, oh, I can do that tomorrow. I can do that tomorrow. No, start completing it now. You know, November 15th is right around the corner. If you haven't already started your submissions, you should be doing those today. I highly recommend that. Record form on the IAIP website. I'm not sure if you know that. Under your members only section. So you need to make sure to the in order to have access to this. You want to make sure that you follow the guidelines that are in the timeframes that we were talking about. Essay links, so important. If it says 500 words, make it 500 words. Don't make it 500, make it 515. Don't make it 501. It is 500 words. You can have 499 and it would be accepted, but pay attention to those requirements, especially with the number of words. Another reason why word format is preferable, because you don't have to spend time sitting there counting the words. Again, we talked earlier, make sure you reach out to anybody, past winners. They can help you in completing your applications. So now we're going to move on to the Member Achievement Award. As you can see, it can be found under your member only section. As I mentioned before, you need to be logged in under resources, toolkits, and under your membership forms. It's under membership, and it's also under forms, I believe. So form is very easy to fill out. It basically looks like what your application submission would look like. And you just keep track of all your information from a local council, regional, and international level. There is one form that is in Word format, and like I said, it does look like the application. But if you look at the shortened form, I believe that one is an Excel spreadsheet, and you can just go in and keep track and keep a list of things that you can later transfer over to the application. So where do you get the information from? You need to keep track, and that's what that membership activity form is for. But if you haven't done that, you should be keeping something on a spreadsheet, on a local level. It's hard to go back and look at things that you've done in the past year if you haven't been keeping track of it. And, you know, you could be shy a few points if you miss an education course, if you miss posting a blog or an article. So believe it or not, some of these awards come down to the final point. So you want to make sure that you obtain the most points that you can get. First of all, again, as I said earlier, it can be a little overwhelming. But if you haven't been keeping track, just go in and start the application. You know, once you start it, you'll find that the information starts flowing. You can reach out to your local members, to your colleagues, to whoever you work with in IAIP. They might be able to remind you of a course you took or something that a class you taught. You want to check with your RVPs, your council directors, if you have a council director, your local president. They might have access to meeting minutes that talk about maybe a class that you took, or just any information, an event that you attended. A lot of members are on Facebook. They utilize Facebook to document a lot of events that they attend, classes that they took. So you might want to go back and take a look at your Facebook page. There is another, under your profile, your personal profile, if you go to your professional development tab, there is a list of courses that you have taken, tests that you've taken. If you've taken some IAIP webinars or whatnot, and you go in and you log those courses, which our instructors are advising everyone to go in and update, because there are some that you need to update personally. But if you click on print transcript, you will receive an email, and that's another reason why it's so important to have your email current in your profile. You'll receive a link, and you can go in and print that, and you get a nice printable form that will have your IAIP classes, your events, and everything that you participated in with IAIP. So that's a really, really great tool to get some information from. So finally, we talked a lot about awards, but you have to apply to win. You have to, like a lottery ticket, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. Well, you can't win the award unless you submit an application. Again, I know it can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes you might have to try and try again, but it's definitely well worth it. The time and energy that you put into IAIP, it's a nice reward, and it's a nice add a person, when you get that pat on the back and you're winning that award. So hopefully everybody will be, the RVPs will be bombarded with multiple applications right now.
That's right.
All right, and we did have another question there in the chat box. Navigated away from the chat box. I need to get it to appear again. Okay, with more of our members retiring, will there be any awards offered or to attract retired members to apply for awards? And I know the board has discussed this multiple times. So I know it's brought up several times. And I know a lot of times the board has decided to leave that more at a regional level, because a lot of the regions do have retired awards. Janelle, did you want to elaborate on any of that?
Well, my region doesn't, so I'm not as familiar with that. But several of the regions do have them. I think they call it the VIP award or something similar to that. It was presented in the past couple of years to add a retired person's award, but unfortunately the submission wasn't complete. The board topic wasn't complete enough for us to really move forward on it. There were no criteria. So if somebody really wants to do that at an international level, it has to be a full board topic with the criteria, really probably with an actual award application attached. And I do believe there is another award that's being worked on, and will be submitted to the board, and it's the same thing. And the other thing that's really important is all these awards have to be sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
So without a sponsor, it will be very difficult for the board of directors to move forward.
So I have a little bit of a different take on that. I always feel that a member is a member, and our awards are based upon IAIP. So whether you're retired or an MAL or active in a local or, you're regional, I think the structure allows for points for all members. We still, whether you're retired or not, we still want you to take some courses. So maybe, we need to maybe look at some IAIP courses that deal with retired. We still want you to participate in the conventions and the events. I know the education part of it is a little drawn, but as Janelle said earlier, there's retired members out there that are excellent writers. Write a blog. Those are my points. There's other ways that retired members can participate in IAIP, and we want you to participate. So that's my take on it. I just look at it as a member is a member, whether you're retired, MAL, part of a local, or whatever. I think there's opportunities there. Unfortunately, some don't have councils. So they're kind of in the same boat as a retired member. They don't get points for council, but you definitely get more points for regional and definitely national. Serve on a task force, you know. So that's my take.
So any other questions out there? I know that was a lot of information. It is being recorded. It will be posted into the YouTube channel if you want to go back and revisit it. So now's the time, ask away. You've got two experts here on awards and quite a few experts in the chat box, I might add. I see some names in here that have received awards in the past. Yeah, I do love how the regions have very unique awards. Region 7's, Region 5, I know both of those have some unique offerings that you can only achieve at the regional level, which I think is it's commendable because each of the regions have their own culture, and I love how they honor different people in different ways.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna stop sharing. Well, do we have any other questions? If not, we'll start wrapping it up here. The next thing we just want to mention is that we have quite a few education opportunities coming up. Just wanted to make you aware to mark your calendar. The next e-learning session is Tuesday, October the 17th. Region 1 is hosting a virtual CLP, Challenging Negative Attitudes. And they're also hosting another virtual CLP, Adapting Your Leadership Style, on Tuesday, October 24th. And these opportunities have been made possible by the IAIP Legacy Foundation. Janelle, which of those two are you teaching? Are you teaching one of them?
I'm actually teaching both of those. So
Awesome.
The first course is Monday and Tuesday, and then the second course is a 2-hour class. So for new members, it's a great opportunity to use your voucher for a new CLP class if you haven't already done so.
Yes, and Ashley just posted a link to the calendar of events there in the chat box. So take a look. You can sign up for both of those opportunities there on our calendar. And something else that's going to be a little new this year, I just wanted to mention, breaking news, you're hearing it here first. On Thursday, November the 9th at 4 p.m., plan to join us as we learn how Vermont Mutual has incorporated IAIP's educational offerings into their talent development strategy. This webinar is open to all IAIP members and their invited HR representatives or talent development representative from your company. More information will be in the October connections, and we also have the ability to sign up for that one in the calendar. So what we're doing is we are producing an opportunity for you, the member, to invite a decision maker in your company that you are trying to get on board to pursue the CLP or CLPA education within your own company, to a call to learn how to do that. Vermont Mutual has done that very successfully now for a couple of years. And so their talent development representative will be joining us on that call to talk about that opportunity and answer any direct questions. So again, more information to follow, but you heard it here first. So hopefully we'll see all of you again at all of the opportunities we have coming up in October and November. And if you have any other questions, just let us know. We're always available to help. Anything else you'd like to add today, Janelle and Kim?
I don't think so.
Apply.
Apply. If anybody has questions for me, my email is iaiprocks@gmail.com.
That's right. And I know how to find her too. So if you can't find her, I can find her.
I think everybody knows how to find me.
All right. Thank you.
Connect on IAIP website
yes,
too.
Please do.
Yeah.
Oh, the online community.
Yeah. Yes. Online community. Feel free to ask any questions.
Absolutely. And good
Right.
luck to everybody.
Thank you all for being here. We look forward to seeing your applications very soon.
Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.